This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11 is that in New York, there's a pilot program being conducted where it's basically a universal basic income being piloted, okay? And we here at Great Millstone, through the Spirit and Power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we've been talking about this, how these various governments, along with these various nonprofit organizations and corporations, have been behind the scenes working on universal basic income, okay? And they've been using, like, for example, in this article, all right, cryptocurrency to test it out, all right? Now, in this article, it was a stable coin, USDC. I'll read it. All right. Again, this is why you can't be ignorant of Satan's devices, because what is this all leading to? All right. This is getting people assimilated to accepting crypto for welfare, accepting crypto, all right, which is trackable, programmable, all right, instead of dealing with physical cash. And this is how they're going to get a lot of people that are in poverty out of physical cash and into this crypto stuff, which again is programmable, trackable, okay? And this is how they're going to get everybody to eventually be so dependent on this new system that when they push the RFID chip, which is coming, the mark of the beast, they're going to take it, okay? And I see a lot of women with a whole bunch of kids, single mother women, all right, jumping first to take that RFID chip, the mark of the beast, because they're going to be so used to getting, universal basic income, because all them children that they had, with all these different men, and so they need to feed those children and feed themselves. So yeah, this is all leading to the RFID chip, the mark of the beast. All right, so right here it says a new basic income pilot will pay low-income New Yorkers $12,000 in cryptocurrency to help them invest in big expenses like education and housing, right? And the housing situation throughout every major city is terrible. It's damn near you're paying more in rent than in a mortgage. Okay, you pay more in rent, and rent is sky high, especially in like in New York City. Manhattan, and of course the surrounding boroughs. The rent is expensive. And shout out to the brothers that have to live in those five boroughs, because they definitely hustling. All right, I see the data. It is expensive in that city. Okay, so they definitely on their grind. All right, because it's you gotta in this place, you gotta make major moves, man. Okay. But yeah, again, this is why you can't be ignorant of Satan's devices, because they created the high rent cause. They created this this situation to get the poor into this new financial system where it's cashless. This is why they pushed into crypto. This is why Donald Trump passed the Genius Act. All right, because they want you to get into this crypto stuff. They want to be able to track what you buy and sell. All right, and then ultimately it's going to come with a chip, the RFID chip. So it says a new initiative is giving 160 low-income New Yorkers $12,000 over 5 months in a cryptocurrency called USDC. Right, it's a stable coin. All right, it's equivalent to your CBDC. All right, but they're not going to say CBDC because there's a stain on it, on that name here in America. So they say stablecoin, but it's the same thing. I like to compare it to Pepsi and Coca-Cola, right? It's the same shit, right? Pepsi's your stablecoin, while Coca-Cola's your CBDC. To study how well no strings attached, for now, support works to alleviate poverty and improve quality of life, right? And Jake gonna jump on this, all right? And this is just the beginning. Jake gonna jump on this, all right? They're gonna jump on this, and they're gonna open up a crypto account, right? Coinbase, because it's funded by Coinbase, and they have to open up an exchange, all right? And when you open up a crypto exchange, which I have crypto exchanges, so I know exactly how this thing goes down, all right? They want your driver's license, they want your social, they want everything. You have to take a picture of yourself, all right? Digital ID, they've been doing it, but they're not calling it that, okay? So yeah. What's it called? And then eventually they're gonna make it that you have to get a fingerprint as well. But you in order for you to open up an exchange, you have to take a picture of yourself. All right, that's facial recognition, and you have to do it every year. Because I've had my exchanges for several years, and I've had to take a picture every year. Okay, so there's your facial recognition. But they're not going to say that, all right? Remember, we're dealing with the devil, and especially in America, all right? They got to make it attractive. They got to make it spicy, okay? Anyway, continuing on, all right? You got to understand your enemy, all right? Your enemy, all right, is very crafty. We're dealing with the devil here, the cunning hunter, all right? Same thing with what they call what is it? China has their own what's the China's, right? Let me show you something. China credit system. What's it called? Social credit system, right? So here it is. China has their social credit system, but America been had a social credit system. It's called credit score, right? What is a credit score system in America? The U.S. credit score system uses algorithms like FICO and Vantage Score to calculate a 3-digit number based on factors such as payment history, amounts owed, and length of credit history that indicates a person's creditworthiness to lenders. This number on scale, typically from 300 to 850, helps lenders decide whether to approve credit and what interest rates to offer, with higher scores indicating lower risk, right? This is America's social credit score, all right? And I remember doing a whole bunch of lessons where Jake would have their credit score high, but because it says Jerome Washington or Carlos Lopez, they get denied, all right? This is the new form of redlining. Same shit. All right, China has a social credit system. America has what they call a U.S. credit score system. All right, America is the one that pioneered this. Okay, they were the first ones to do it because they wanted to press Jake. They didn't want Jake in their neighborhood. The Edomites didn't want Jake in their neighborhoods. Okay, we've been going through this shit, man. All right, and that now China's doing it to their own people, right? A national framework for rating the trustworthiness of individual businesses and organizations rather than a single unified national score. It aims to encourage trustworthy behavior and curb untrustworthy action by implementing a system of rewards and punishments those implementations not yet fully national and involves various pilot programs, the system collects and assesses a wide range of data to monitor compliance and trustworthiness. Right. What is trustworthy? Credit, right? What does credit mean? Credit. Etymology. Yeah, I know I'm going on a tangent, but I just need to make a point. All right. We are under the curses here in America. Point blank, period. All right. This whole social credit score, we've been going through this shit. The word credit comes from Latin verb credere, meaning to believe, to trust, to entrust. All right, meaning a loan or a thing entrusted to another. There you go. All right. So that's where you get credit from. Okay, and the apostle elders been told us to get into words, been told us to look things up. Okay. So yeah, so naturally they created the conditions. So back to us, because really, this message is for us, the Israelites. Who gives a damn about China? All right, they're going, their own leaders set them up for failure. All right, and they'll be the ones to go into the RFID chip, mark of the beast, set up first. Okay. That's why they're moving fast too in Asia. But America moving fast too, Because again, this whole Coinbase, all right, there's a lot you have to do in order to get, in order to be able to use it. They want everything. They want all your information. They want your credit, your social security. They want your face, okay? They want to know where you live at, okay? And every year you have to constantly update it. You have to constantly take your picture every year. Just throwing it out there, all right? So the program, administered by Give Directly. Oh, check this out. Again, you know what? Because the scriptures say this. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the Book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right? I'm going to show you something. All right? What is Give Directly? Who funds Give Directly? Give Directly is funded by a diverse range of sources, including individual donors, foundations. Right? It's a nonprofit organization. All right? Like Conrad North Hilton Foundation and Schusterman Family Philanthropies, the JJs. Whenever there's a nonprofit, there's a JJ family right behind it, okay? Goes to show you them JJs are the ones, all right, that run the world, all right? They're the chief house of these Edomites. They're known as the Amalekites, and that's the chief house, okay? Corporations including Google.org and IKEA Foundation, right? So you even have Google funding Give Directly, okay? Or, excuse me, being charitable, okay? Such as Canva and Good Ventures. And government institutions like the World Bank Group, oh, interesting, and the United States Agency for International Development. These guys. Remember this institution? Remember they were pushing? All right. Remember Doji revealed, which they wanted you to see. All right. So that they could push this whole crypto blockchain system onto the masses, so that this will never happen again. Right. That's what they always say. Right. But you already know, right? The USAID was behind pushing LGBTQ lifestyle, and I believe it was in either Central or South America, right? They were also pushing atheism in Nepal, which right now Nepal is in an uproar, and that's pursuant to Second Esdras chapter 9, uproars of the people, right? They're pushing atheism in Nepal, all right? That's why, again, you can't be ignorant of Satan's devices. Nepal, USID, atheism, right? Did I spell this right? Maybe hopefully Google knows what I'm talking about. Yep, there it is. USAID grants for atheism in Nepal. The amount $500,000 will be awarded to projects that support religious freedom in 2 or 3 countries in region of South and Central Nepal. Right, atheism. Right, United States Department acknowledges possible misuse of tax dollars. So here it is. America. Well, some of these Edomite plantation Christians believe that America was founded on Christian principles and America's a Christian country. Well, your government is pushing atheism. So yeah, you wanna point the finger at us. That's why you plantation Christians don't come up to us while we're teaching the word. Okay? We are going to call the police so that we can tell them that you are interrupting our religious organization, our religious our freedom of religion. Okay, you're disrupting our freedom of religion. All right, spreading atheism. I remember this. Fox News. Vance warns religious efforts abroad. Spreading atheism. Yup, I remember this. This is why you can't be ignorant, sanctified. This is why anybody that talks about God bless America, God, protect America. No, what God are you talking about? You talking about Satan? Okay, I can understand because God just means power, right? Or powers, right? But we already know who runs America. Satanists, straight up. Spreading atheism. Vance warns religious efforts abroad corrupted by U.S. bureaucracy amid USAID controversy. Look at that. Spreading atheism. Funded program to promote atheism or belief in gods or gods in Nepal. Right. And that's why Nepal's in uproar because, hey, they think they're God in their own eyes. How long has this been going on? That's why they burnt down, they've been burning up the government buildings. So yeah. So you can't be ignorant of Satan's devices. Okay? So let's go back. Never trust thy enemy. Again, so Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusts, so is his wickedness. And you're going to see it. Though he humble himself and go crouching. Right. Oh, this is to help out the poor, the needy, the disenfranchised. Remember they said that with the jab? Remember? Man, you Jakes fall for it all the time, man. Okay? You Jakes fall for this shit all the time. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, all right? To be honest with you, a lot of you are fucking idiots, man. I see it all the time. Where I work at, all right? I see it. All right, that's why I don't want to have anything to do with y'all, man. I don't want to be around y'all, man. I avoid you like a plague, cause y'all fall for this shit all the time, okay? And you're gonna fall for this, all right? Especially the women, they're gonna jump on this. Oh, it's free. Oh, I just gotta download the Coinbase app. Okay, yeah, I gotta take care of my little rugrats. Yeah, cause niggas ain't shit. But the government gonna take care of me. Yep. That's how they gonna get it. The government or the corporations, and well, they're working hand in hand. I just showed you. Give Directly is funded not only by a corporation but also the government, the federal government, the American government. Okay. So, but that's how they're gonna sell it, and a lot of our people are going to jump on it. So back. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away, right? Because eventually you're going to see it, man. We see it. We've been seeing it. But you Jakes, when you see it, it's going to be too late. You're going to have to make that conscious decision, and you haven't been built up on faith, and you will take that RFID chip to mark of the beast. 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Right. That's why whenever this devil says, "Oh, I'm here to try to help you," you gotta be a skeptic. All right? You have to be a skeptic. You have to have a conspiracy. Like, hey, this devil is conspiring. All right? Yes, I am a conspiracy theorist. All right? And guess what? A lot of my theories that I've been saying have been coming true. So, conspiracy facts. And a lot of the stuff that my beloved brothers in GMS have been saying have been coming to the truth. In fact, that's why the scoffing has been minimized. Has been because what do you scoffers can say? Said not by thee, when he have overthrown thee, he said, stand up in thy place, and neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at thy right, at thy last, and thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Right. So you're supposed to remember the words of the Lord, not to trust this devil. Okay. But you got a lot of our people that still trust the devil. You had pseudo Hebrew Israelite groups saying to go take the jabberoni. All right. Take it, literally go take it. And that's how you know they're going to tell their congregation to go take the chip, the RFID chip. We see it. But yeah, here we go. All right. And again, this is not the first pilot program. All right. They were doing it in the United Kingdom, and I think they're still doing it in certain areas throughout the United Kingdom. Here it is in Wales, England, autonomy, Greater Manchester. Then in Thailand, it was a CBDC, that the pilot they conducted. Right. And again, in certain countries, they'll say CBDC. In America, they'll say stablecoin. It's the same shit. It's like Pepsi and Coca-Cola. It's the same shit. So, Lord willing, it's us edifying. I want to bring this out too. Got to bring this out. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 12. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in the evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of man snared in evil time when it falleth suddenly upon them. Right. This whole cashless society is going to be a snare onto the people that have not been paying attention, and because they're going to be locked in, and that's when the chip is going to drop on them. And a lot of these people are going to take the chip if they want to continue buying and selling. They want to continue to eat. All right? So it is coming up. It's going to be upon these people. All right? It's coming. And they're going to be caught unaware. All right? Let me see what it says in NLT version. People can never predict when harder times might come, like fish in a net or birds in a trap. People are caught by the sudden tragedy, right? Okay? This is going to get a lot harder. Remember, they want you to go to them for this stuff. So it's easier to control you, easier to keep tabs on you, and then ultimately hit you with that chip, that RFID chip. Because that's what's coming. This is all leading to the chip. So, Lord willing, us edify. I want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai's sake. Lord, brothers, keep it there, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep buying, keep studying, pray without ceasing, pray for each other, pray for the apostle elders. We're almost out of here. For the few that are watching, keep studying. When you pray, your cover, shalom.